guys from the TBR. This is a song about who we are. Stro and Jay are down with Marilyn Manson. Randy's not kidding, he really likes Hanson. We're kinda sexy, but that's old news. If you like unibrows and bowling shoes, it doesn't matter about your age or gender. Everyone is a premium member. We're rocking out with the Dixon Trio. They've opened up for Ronnie James Dio. Russell Dixon is the oldest brother. He likes it best when they play with each other. 1, 3, 2, broke Republicans. 1, 3, 2, broke Republicans. 1, 3, 2, broke Republicans. Get off our lawn before we get our guns. Yeah. Whoa.
Man, that was a good one. That was probably the best one we've ever done.
Ever?
I liked our country version.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
No, that's old news.
Oh, that's old news. All right. All right. Well, welcome to episode 105 if you're on your audio dial, and number 2 for YouTube.
The Deuce.
I'm Randall J.
Michael K.
Father J.
And we are
Two Broke Republicans. That's right.
Oh,
I almost said
almost said
bitches.
it.
Oh, I did it.
I'm proud of you.
how we doing on time, Ethan? All right. All right. So before we get started in my formerly nicotine stained
Oh, Rush
fingers,
Limbaugh
yeah,
reference. Love it.
honor to him. Just want to thank everybody. This is our second version of our YouTube. Ooh, poke myself. And we just want to thank everybody that's been watching and still listening. And please, please, please subscribe to this wonderful channel and our great content,
What is the channel? TwoBrokeRepublicans.com.
podcast or whatever. You'll find it.
Right.
But you got to remember, you got to type pretty far in because there's a lot of
Even if you don't like it, if you're a friend of ours, you don't even have to listen. Just subscribe.
And just put it on in the background.
Yeah.
While you're doing dishes or.
But, you know, if I had a friend that had a podcast, I'd probably watch it.
Yeah.
I've subscribed to shit all the time. Like friends will say, hey, this guy wants you to join this group about fixing stuff or something.
Yeah,
I'll just join it because I'm a friend of theirs.
You throw them a bone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good, Stro. All right. So before we get started, after you guys take a pause to subscribe to the show, we want to say that the beginning of the show is sponsored by Underground Artwork, proprietor Eric Beard. Is he the owner, co-owner?
He's the owner.
He is the owner.
He is the owner.
And what I always say is don't make a stink, go get some ink.
Ooh.
That's what you always say?
I always say that before I get my ink.
Yeah.
Go get some ink at Underground. He's at 1016 North Main Street in Edwardsville, Illinois. I did a little research for this ad.
You did.
They've got some award-winning artists there.
Yes, I do.
They do great work down there. Just don't get it on your face, your neck, or
Or your hands,
It's
right.
so funny.
We discussed that on the last podcast.
That last episode, now I'm noticing all kinds of people with ink on their hands.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you buy a car and you see everybody else has that car.
Same color.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't notice it until somebody points it out. But Eric is he's a good friend of mine, but we're not. I mean, yeah, he's a great artist.
Has he done some of your work?
He's done all of my work.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just check. I didn't want to.
Look at these arms here. Those are championship arms. He's won like 2 awards.
Yeah.
2
or 3.
Weren't you in a magazine?
5 awards.
Yeah, we've won a lot of
You
awards.
were in Playboy magazine for those?
Playgirl magazine.
Or
Yeah.
Playgirl?
Yeah. No, we've actually won a lot of awards, and we've been in magazines. Everything Eric's put on me has won awards and been in magazines.
Even the one down.
Yeah, no, we're not going to talk about
the,
that one.
The back stamp.
That's private.
So you can go to
Tramp
that
stamp?
tattoo shop down the street in South City, or you can travel to a proven award-winning tattoo
That's
artist.
right. Also, and not Eric, not just Eric, but all the artists there are really great artists. You know, I know Keith and all the guys in there.
Keith did my wife, but the tattoos.
Oh, scared me for a minute.
All right. All right. So let's.
Hang on.
Easy.
Are you telling me we have real paid sponsors, not Central Hardware?
No.
Not Circuit City?
Circuit City's out. We kicked them to the curb. Radio Shack.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, all those guys gone.
Do you guys have any idea what this means?
No.
It means we finally made it,
Yeah, right.
or we sold out.
Yeah.
Looks like we made it.
All right. So let's get caught up with each other because we don't ever talk or see each other since the last show. We haven't
Talked
talked.
to you last night.
Yeah, we did on the way home from Anna, Illinois. So what's been going on? Anybody want
Jay, you
to
wanna-
share with our listeners,
Yeah.
viewers?
Since we last had a podcast, I went and got to see my favorite band of all time, Acid Bath,
Okay,
in a underground cave, which is pretty sick.
that's cool.
It was. I mean, seriously, they have converted this cave and made it into a concert venue. And Stro was asking me about it. He's like, "Well, how was that?" I was like, "It was amazing." The light show, which Sherry's not the biggest Acid Bath fan, but she was like,
Who is?
me.
I mean, besides you, I'm sorry.
You're kind of right.
Yeah.
Randy.
No, Sherry, she likes Acid Bath, but she prefers solo stuff. But the light show was amazing. The acoustics in there, I mean, you would not believe how cool. I'm looking for other concerts coming here because you guys would love it.
Would you go see Hanson with me if they show? If
Yes,
they
I
played
would.
there?
That's
Okay.
how cool.
That's
this
how
place.
cool it is.
If I had one gripe, it's that I got dripped on the whole time.
The moisture building.
That's what she
in the,
said.
Yeah. There was dripping coming down, and that, I was like, I walked out. But, and also I didn't mention it was Sherry's birthday. When I asked her, I said, "Hey, what do you want for your birthday?" And she said, "More than anything else, I want to go see Acid Bath in a cave." And I said,
and get dripped on.
you know what?
Were there bats in there?
No, you can take a cave tour, and I'm sure there would have been bats,
Okay.
but not in the actual concert venue.
I think bats are scared of people, like especially large metalhead crowds.
If I went to an Acid Bath
I would've
show,
been
I'd
scared.
bring a bat.
I would have been scared of this crowd too, because there's a lot of lookers in there.
All right.
Not a lot of hot chicks.
just
though.
think of Ozzy Osbourne, like in there with bats flying around.
You'd be eating them all.
Yeah.
All right, Stro, what about you?
Well, this is more of a get off my lawn.
Well,
But
I mean, if it happened to you,
Right.
you know.
so I went to renew my license, like I have to do every 4 years. You guys got to do it. But every 8 years in Illinois, you have to retake all your written tests for your tanker, your hazmat,
This is your CDL.
all this other stuff, CDL stuff. And well, I looked up, and you got to do a background check for your CDL. Well, to get that, you have to have a real ID. Now, do you guys have a real ID?
I have a fake one.
I
It's
have-
Right.
some guy gave me one in the alley, and
Right. The one you were using when we were 19,
Yeah.
hitting the pubs.
Oh yeah, I still got my fake ID from
Right.
no, I don't have a real ID.
No, I don't
Well,
have a
you're gonna
real
be
ID.
required next time you get an ID, you're going to be required to do it.
You can't fly unless you have a real ID, but I have a passport. So
Or unless you're legal.
if you have a passport, it's if you have a passport, it's the same thing, right?
I think so, as long as you have a regular driver's license and a passport. But pretty soon, everybody's going to have to get this real ID. But so I had to go get my real ID to do my hazmat background check when I'm getting fingerprinted, and then I'm going to have to go back to the driver's place and pay to take my test, because they wouldn't let me take my test first and wait till the background check came in. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I spent my last.
They didn't
Saturday,
want to waste their
or
time
Friday.
unless I guess something came back.
Right, they're like,
negative.
well, we can't let you take these tests until your background check comes back. Well, I can't get the background check without my real ID. So I had to go to the DMV, get the real ID, go to the background check guy, get fingerprinted, and now I got to wait for 60 days for that to come back, and then I can go take my test and get my real ID.
I understand that all the hoops that you have to jump through, but you do realize why we have to do that now.
Well,
because of
but
all
I just
the
wish it
voter
would be
fraud.
for. Well, hey
and
man,
the
I'm all
illegal
aboard on
voting.
that.
Yeah.
I'm all aboard on that. But it's like when you see these guys in CDLs that are killing people.
Oh yeah,
it
makes you wonder how they got.
How
the
did they go
license.
through all that stuff when they can't even read English? They can't even read road
They
signs.
can't. Yeah, they can't.
And they've got their license out of California or Portland or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how they're getting I don't know how they're getting CDL license out of Cal, but they're all coming from California, and then they're killing people. But like you said, they can't even read simple road signs.
But it was just a frustrating day. Last Friday was very frustrating. I was, just running everywhere.
Yeah.
And now I still got to go back when that background check comes back if I pass. You know my past. So anyway, yeah, I'm hoping I passed the background check.
How far back do they go, bro?
I think all the way.
Oh, they go all the way.
Yeah.
Shit.
What
Randall?
happened with you, Randall?
Well, I did a little driving this week. Went to Indianapolis for work and got to have dinner with
I saw you hook up with Brady. Yeah.
mutual friend
Yeah.
Gary, his son Brady. Had a great talk, nice talk
How
there.
hard was that to get together? Because you're like, do you just call him up and say, "Hey, I'm going to be in
I
Indy"?
just texted him and said, hey, I'm going to be in there for work. Let's do dinner. And he was
on
super
board.
pumped and said, yeah, can you do it at 8:30? Well, I forgot that you lose an hour, even just going to Indiana. So I was thinking I was going to go to my hotel, get checked in, settle in, watch an episode of Full House, and then have time to go there. And then it was
All right, I can't hold it in.
So and I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my gosh, it switched, So I texted him and said, hey, I'm going straight there. So yeah, I did that. And then my uncle, my dad's older brother, passed away. My uncle Don, great man. He was 90. He died like a day before his 92nd birthday.
Wow.
And went down to, my dad and all his brothers and sisters were from Anna, Illinois. So we went down there, and most of my cousins were there. I think only Lana and my cousin Chris from up in Chicago were the only two of the 8 or 9 that didn't show up. And, we've always had great relationships with all my cousin, but I'll just go ahead and mention one of them that was there. There's a little tension since Trump came on the scene. She was not a big fan of Trump, and she disowned me.
What do you call that?
Trump dream.
TTS,
Yeah.
So in 2016, she basically told me, you're not my cousin
you're
anymore.
dead to me.
Yeah, kind of like that. And I never did anything.
You have a cousin like that too, don't you?
I got several. But I can.
So we're all saying hi and hugging and everything, and she's sitting over there, and I was like, hey. And she's like, hey, and looked up, wouldn't even make eye contact with me.
Oh,
but
it's you.
But we went back to their Airbnb or whatever after, and a bunch of us, not all of them, like my brother didn't feel good, so he didn't come. So I'm just sitting there with 2 or 3 of my cousins and their spouses and sisters, and I was just hitting them with the jokes, and I looked over. And she's trying not to laugh, but by the end, she started laughing. So I think, okay, she's loosening up a little bit.
So she came around?
This guy's really not Hitler.
Well, yeah. And so anyway, I made my exit and started hugging everybody. And I was like, bye.
So you did your mic drop?
And no, I thought she would get up and at least want to hug. And nope. She just sat there, and I was like, all right, I'm out.
So she would laugh at your jokes, but she wouldn't hug you.
Yeah.
See, with my cousin, and we all know who I'm talking about, at my aunt's funeral, I just went up and I hugged her. I went to her and I just hugged her.
I should have done
and
that.
But
there was,
because then you're not like, hey man, do they want to hug me or whatever? You just run in and grab it.
Well, I would have, but it was a tight space, and there was a table of assorted cheeses and meats. And I was hungry. I hadn't eaten. So I'm over there making crackers and cheese and stuff. And I'm like, hey, Terry,
Oh, that's showing her what's more important.
Yeah. Nourishment.
Nourishment.
Cheese.
Yeah. Cheese.
You need emotional nourishment too, Randall.
Oh, I know. I get it from you guys on the way home from this podcast. All right. So let's get into our, this is a new segment for us, or
I don't know what we're doing.
Oh,
Most embarrassing.
we're going to do most embarrassing moments. So we've all had those moments, and some are quick moments in time, but some are more, drawn out stories. And we've got some time to get into this. So who wants to?
Do we have time, Ethan?
How are we doing on time? Yeah. So who wants to kick? I think Jay should kick it off.
Oh, Lord.
Because we'll get this. Yours probably the worst one.
Yeah,
maybe, out of the way.
I mean, I don't even know why I'm saying this, but okay. This is probably, if not one of my most embarrassing, but it's got to be. Come on. I'm going to talk about my first time, my actual first time.
Riding a bike.
Yeah. So the first time what did they say on making whoopee? Is that what they said?
That's what they said on
the
dating Gong
game?
Show or dating game. Yeah.
Okay.
Newlywed Game.
Newlywed Game. Yeah. The first time you made whoopee. Well, I was a kid, and I was probably younger than I should have been. I think I was in.
Don't even say your age, please.
I was young. I think I was in grade school.
Grade school?
I was in 5th grade, and she was in 8th
I
grade.
hadn't even like.
Randy, I had sex in 3rd grade.
No, stop
I'm
it.
just kidding.
This isn't. I can name that tune in
Right.
2 notes. What? Okay, just go ahead. Go
Anyway,
ahead.
so she was a little more, I would say a lot more experienced than me. And so to start the story, I'm just going to say I had never seen an actual porn before. So all I had seen up until this point was soap operas. And I knew where to put it. I
Oh,
just
no.
didn't know what
We're
to
gonna get
do.
canceled.
I didn't know what to do after I put it. So
Where do you put it?
you know where I put it. Probably no. Anyway, so once I got there, she's saying move, and all I could think about was the soap operas, and all you see in soap operas was some dude with no shirt on doing a lot of shoulder movement and kissing and stuff. So she goes move, and I was like, you know, like Rico. So I was like, yeah, and she's like, move. And I'm like, yeah. I was making out with her. And she goes, you want to get on top? I was like, no, I got this, baby. Come on. And I was like doing a lot of, so basically at the end of the day, I just, you know, dry humped her and did a lot of making out, and I just moved my shoulders a lot.
Did you get a second date?
Well, I mean, we dated for a while, but there was a little. So when I did finally get to high school, I was a freshman and she was a senior. She was already pregnant.
Oh, I wonder why.
And before you ask, it was not mine.
Right.
But you know, I'm pretty sure she had been with other guys other than me. But dude, she's probably still laughing at me to this day, going, "Oh my god."
I hope she forgot about you.
No, she definitely didn't forget about that, dude.
Randy, you want me to go? 'Cause
Yeah.
This is kind of like, you want to go?
I'll just go because I don't know if we can recover from that.
Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
I might tell my actual most embarrassing moment because Jay was brave enough to share that. That's
No,
pretty embarrassing.
no.
Yeah.
What? Hey, do I know that story?
Well, we just talked about it off air that I couldn't tell the nurse.
Oh yeah. All right.
do know
So, mine is when I went back to SWIC to take night courses.
I was with you, man.
Yeah, you took a few with me. I
Yeah.
got inspired. I'm like, I'm going to make something of myself and get so I can check off some college on applications.
I'm gonna
That's
be
exactly why I
be
did
somebody.
Speaking of that, I want to thank whoever came up with putting some college on the choices
Yeah.
on applications, because it's either high school or
I tried.
associates or whatever. I got some college. I don't got a lot.
I got
Is that
some
where
college,
is that where
too.
they come up with the term? Give it the old college try.
I guess.
See,
But
when some college, you have some college, you can gloss over the fact that I have my GED and not a diploma.
right, you can
Because
skip that.
once you say some college, well, of course he graduated.
right.
No, he didn't graduate.
So anyway, I go back and I had this English class with a teacher that we know from. She was a teacher at
Miss
Granite,
Michaeloff, right?
Goni Michaeloff.
Yeah.
Miss Michaeloff.
Yeah,
Miss Michaeloff.
yeah.
Yeah.
My music teacher in
That's-
grade school, red hair.
Well, by the time I got her, it was dark black. Like she
Okay.
was. It might have been a wig.
Miss Michaeloff. She used to come in the room.
Short
with the-
lady.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So she started teaching at SWIC for, I don't know, extra money, or maybe she retired and just wanted to still teach. So she was teaching an English class. And for some reason, well, not for some reason, but we butted heads from the get-go because we had to write this term paper, and every topic that I gave her, she would shoot it down because it was it was all conservative topics. And she didn't want me to do that. So we kind of butted heads. Finally, she let me pick something about smoking, whatever. And she loved the paper. But so at the end of the class, me and this guy kind of hit it off, like humor wise, like we both would make each other laugh. We sat in the back of the class.
Was this Joe?
No, I don't know. I can't remember his name, but I saw him years later at Pho Grand. Is it Pho?
Pho
Grand?
Yeah, I think it's Pho.
And I couldn't remember his name, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's the guy I had in the class." But we would be back there cracking, and we were cracking jokes, like being like the class clowns.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all 18, 19-year-olds, and he's probably like 26, 27, and I'm like 30.
Right.
So I'm old. To these guys, I'm like, "What's this old guy in the back?" And I just couldn't stop. Sometimes I can't just. I always like to crack the jokes. And I do it at church. I do it everywhere. And
You're the class clown at church.
yeah. And she got sick of it. Like it got to the point.
Miss Michaeloff. She didn't take no shit.
Yeah. So one too many. I forgot what the joke was or whatever. She slams the book down, and she's like, "You two, out of my classroom."
Oh Lord, she put
And
you
I'm
in the
like,
hall.
"Yeah." I'm like, "What?" Like, dude, my face. I went.
That's not your tax dollars. You're actually paying her out of your own pocket.
Yeah. She's like, "You two out in the hall." And I'm like, "What?" And like all these kids are like, kind of like, "What?"
Did
just
she make you put
happened
your
here?"
nose against the locker, or
No, but we went out in the hall and she continued the class, and we're out there. I was like, there's no principal. Like, what? She can't send us to the principal. Like, there's no dean here, whatever. And he goes, like, "This is embarrassing."
That
I'm
must
like,
have been so awkward.
"Dude," I said, "this is really embarrassing." He goes, "I think we should just leave and never come
just
back."
Leave and come back the next class.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, there's, we're close to getting finishing the class. So the class, I don't know if it was a break or the end of the class, and she comes out there and she's like, "You go home," to the other guy, "You go home." And I said, I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And she's like,
what's she gonna do to me?
so she was like, "What is your problem?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You're always, cracking jokes and this and that." And I'm like, I go, "Well, they seem to go over well." And she's like, yeah, they're funny, but you got to stop doing it, And she was like, "Just tone it back a little bit."
she has no sense of humor. Dude.
No.
Never did.
But she was I was distracting. So, I mean, I get it.
You were
But
taking away from her brilliance.
But I guess I just wish she would have waited. But I was so embarrassed. Like, going back to the next class, it was like,
You
people were
went
like,
back the next
"Oh,
day?
well, the next class, next week." And they were looking at me like, "What happened?"
A few short weeks away from graduating, getting out of that class. Now you passed, right?
Oh, yeah, I got an
Okay,
A.
you got
Yeah.
an A.
She didn't hold you back a grade, did you?
No, but it was just humiliating being out in the hallway. I'm like, I'm 30 years old and she sent me out in the. So anyway,
Dude, I remember she swatted me.
Really?
Do you remember when you could still get swats?
yeah.
I didn't know she wielded the paddle though.
It was
I
in
had
her cart that she pushed around.
I had her in a class or so, or a class or two in high school.
Oh,
but-
she
oh
swung.
yeah, stagecraft.
Stagecraft.
And oral, was it oral? Yeah, stagecraft. Yeah.
and I think oral communication
Yeah,
is another
yeah.
one she did. So
All right, Stro, what do you got?
let's not
We're-
turn that into sex, Jay. The
Okay.
oral communication.
I just thought Randy's was going to turn into a parn.
This is kind of a sexual thing too
Oh, my
that happened to me. I'm sorry, but
Oh Lord, is this a story?
it's not about sex. But
Oh, I was like, you better
me and
brace
Randy
yourself.
started a job at a place, and we were there for about a year. We got to know people.
You don't want to say the name on air. Chevy Hotel Supply.
Yeah, Chevy Hotel Supply.
Okay.
You can say the name.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ford Hotel Supply.
So we were there, and I think you kind of had a crush on one of the sales reps. Am I correct when I say that? Because we went to a party at her
Oh
house.
yeah. Well, I don't know why. I don't know the time frame, but yeah, we ended up at her house at a party.
So I don't know why we were invited to this party, but we all got invited to this party. And, when we got there, they told us that there's some girl that got fired before we started at Ford that's coming to the party. They said she's really hot, but she got fired because she stole a bunch of money out of the safe to buy crack.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God. So
Hang on.
Was crack a thing back then?
Hang on. They didn't say. How would they know what she stole the money for?
She got fired
Because she was
the
doing
accountant.
drugs, yeah.
Oh, she was the accountant. She was stealing money out of the safe to buy drugs.
Oh, I didn't know why. I mean, I knew she was getting a bunch of embezzling money from the company. Okay.
She was stealing on account of the drugs.
Thanks for clearing that up.
So they said she's really hot. I'm a single guy. I'm like, hey man, I can't wait for this girl to get here because
Maybe I got a shot with her.
check her out. Yeah. So we're sitting around. It's like 2 hours later, and there was like a moment we're all sitting in the same room where it got kind of quiet. And I said, hey, when's that crack whore going to get here? and everybody just looks at me, and I look to my left, and she's sitting right next to me, but
Yes.
she's not hot. She's got a belly on her,
Easy.
she's still got her teeth, or she's not. She's
It
missing a
wasn't
couple
that.
teeth.
It wasn't that bad.
She wasn't
Yeah.
that bad, but she wasn't hot.
She wasn't noticeable. But if I remember this correctly, or maybe I'm just embellishing in my mind, there was music playing. Like it was a party and the music stopped.
It seemed that way in
when
my
you
head.
go, hey, when's the crack girl
so-
that's I thought you said when is the girl that stole the money for crack gonna show up?
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But and then it stopped, and I looked over at her and I said, "I'm so freaking sorry."
You're that girl, aren't you?
So she puts her hand on my shoulder like this, and she goes, "It's okay." I said, "No, it's not." I said, "That's not okay."
You know what? She's in prison right now thinking about you every day.
And everybody, I remember like all the girls, they were like, Stro.
Yeah, I was like, "Why did you guys tell me?" Because she wasn't hot, Randy.
Why did they invite a crackhead to the party?
They were friends. They
Yeah.
worked together.
And
They were
she
friends.
was
She was
better.
a nice crackhead.
She was better.
She had cleaned her act
Yeah.
up apparently, and they wanted. She was trying to get back into the clique.
I usually don't like crackheads at my parties, but
I don't even know who's doing crack. You
I'm
know,
okay with meth, but when you get to the crack.
I'm with you, Randy.
Yeah.
little bit of coke, but that's where I draw the line.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break. We went a little long. We're going to take a break so Stro can brush his hair.
Yes.
And then we'll come back with
What are we coming back?
We're going to come back with a joke.
a joke, and then that's old news.
And then that's old news.
All right. Thank
We'll
you.
be right back. Hey, have you guys heard about the blind prostitute?
No.
You really got to hand it to her.
The second part of the show, and including That's Old News, is sponsored by Sissy Space. Holly Taft is the proprietor out there. She's at 1310 21st and Edison. And you can also get on her website at sissyspace.com.
I thought she was at Edison and 21st.
21st and Edison.
No,
Same thing.
Edison and 21st, right?
No.
Okay.
Okay. She wanted me to remind all of our millions of viewers that starting in May, she will have extended hours. And
Extended to when?
I didn't get that part. I wish you wouldn't call me out on stuff. She's going to have Thursday night markets on the first and Thursday of the month. And she'll have like car shows and stuff like that. So it's a place where you get your unique gifts. She likes to say it's the shop that don't stop, but I think that's grammatically incorrect. It should be the shop that doesn't stop.
We all know how you feel about grammar.
Yeah. So anyway,
But we all went to Granite school system. So.
And Randy's exceptionally good. I don't know how that happened.
so check her out, please. She's going to be another one of our paid
sponsors.
She's committed to supporting the show moving forward. So
Ollie's a wonderful woman.
yes, and my
If Holly
daughter.
wasn't married,
Easy.
telling you right now.
Is it testosterone kicking in again?
Sorry. Every time I think of Holly.
Every time you're here, get your hand off Jay's leg. All right. So I want to read the disclaimer before we get into That's Old News. I think this is very important legally. The views and the opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect those of this studio, including Phil and Ethan, our producers, our sponsors, Stroh's daughter, and Jay's niece, Audrey.
My niece, my granddaughter.
Granddaughter. Dang, I messed that up.
I think we covered the bases.
If you're feeling kinda sad,
that's old news, 'cause the Dems have got you mad. That's old news, there's a place where you can go. That's old news, you can listen to our show. That's old news, we're like glasses for your eyes. That's old news, we'll help you see through all the lies. That's old news, that's old news.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful.
fellas.
Welcome back to our nominated for Zero Podcast Awards segment called That's Old News.
Phil, did you get me a burrito?
We try and act like we're smart, but we're not.
Yeah.
Did you pick me up a taquito?
Like I always say, if you're getting your news and forming your opinions from us, then you got problems.
Yeah, you should probably check out a second or I always listen to 2 or 3 sources.
Yeah. You want
But we're usually right.
to check it.
We're always right. We got a 99.9.
You got to check yourself for your wreck yourself.
88.4.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sorry, I did the math. We dipped a little bit.
It's because I was
What?
I dip, you dip, we dip. All right.
What?
I don't know. So, all right, Stroh, I wanted to start off with what Stroh's wanting to talk about.
gays in the military. What do you want to talk about? I don't remember.
You don't remember? No.
Hey, you want me to start?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please
Are
don't
you
be
guys-
about Al Green, though, because I'll lose.
Then I'm out.
You're out.
All right,
No,
Randy.
I mean, have you guys heard that they're bringing back the draft?
Well,
I mean, they're I have nephews that are actually getting draft letters that they have to fill out.
no, I researched it.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But I'm saying this for the show for people that don't know.
Right. But they're not actually going
my
to
nephews
draft
my nephews
people.
are scared to death that they're going to have to go to war, and I'm like,
You can take your Xbox now.
well, I'm just like, it probably would do them good to go to boot camp and nut up a little bit.
Yeah, no. Stro, we talked about this when we were back in the day.
Yeah, we had to go.
We
sign
were
up.
automatically like registered. Nobody's getting drafted to go to the Middle East.
I know, but it was just scary. They're like, oh my God, I got draft papers. I'm like, I don't think they're actually, putting that in place yet. But, I actually tried to join the military, but
I didn't know that when you were younger.
He was in the KISS Army.
Well, yeah, we know
I
he
was in the KISS Army. Yeah. I was.
So, but no, I'm just
I was
saying,
a general.
I like that kids are getting scared for just because what did we sign up at the post office?
It seems like it was
the
the
post
office
on Madison Avenue.
Because I saw your older brother a wanted picture of him when I was there.
By the way, they caught him.
Yeah, I know that guy.
They got him. Son of a bitch.
I didn't turn him in.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, it's it's just the fact that because I wasn't scared to do it.
No, but these
and
kids.
You weren't scared to go to the post office or scared to go to war.
I wasn't scared to go to the
I
post
wasn't
office.
scared of the post office.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. So I don't
No,
get
but
it.
these
I don't
kids-
get it.
We're brave.
You know what I mean? These kids are like quick to criticize Trump or criticize everything because all they know is the shit that they hear in college and their professors or their teachers are telling them and the shit that's jammed down their throats. Once they get out in the real world and get out of their parents' basements, they're going to have a different perspective on life when they start paying for gas and groceries.
Yeah, I've long said that I think this country should, like Israel, you have to spend, I think, 2 years
Oh, I didn't
in
know
the
that.
military.
I thought
and
it was a year, but it might
a
be
year or two, but you learn how to handle a gun, how to clean.
My dad said that turned him into a man, was, going to boot camp and, he was in, Vietnam. So,
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
yeah.
All these
He wasn't actually in Vietnam, but he was,
He didn't go into the country.
He was adjacent.
He was Vietnam adjacent.
No, he was
Laos?
he was in Korea. Or no, he wasn't in Korea. He was in China.
China.
Yeah, he was based in China.
China.
Where
China?
nothing was going on.
Right. China.
None of us can do a Trump.
No, we can't.
It
Everybody
sucks.
in the world can
I
do
do
Trump.
a great Bill Clinton. I can do John Travolta. No, Trump, not a chance.
I
You're
can do-
John Travolta.
I can
Right
do
on.
Eddie Money, but Bert Convey.
You can do Eddie Money?
Yeah.
Really? Go ahead. I want to hear
Well,
it.
See,
I
you're
can't
putting him on
right
the
now.
spot.
Yeah, put me on the spot.
Talk
So,
about it later.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't think they're going to be worried that they're going to be going to the Middle East.
Okay. That was just filler anyway, so go ahead.
Randy,
I didn't even write it
What
down.
did you want to talk about that we both wanted to talk about? I forget. You said something earlier.
Well, I wanted to talk. I kind of brought up the inflation issue.
I know everyone's been waiting to hear about it.
Are you making fun of my?
Yes.
All right. Well,
Everyone's on
I
pins
do
and
want to
needles
touch
hearing
on
about
it a
the
little
inflation.
bit. I want to touch on it a little because it's about the headlines, the liberal media headlines, more than the actual inflation. And I know we're not breaking new ground here, but
We're not.
the way they describe things, like on the New York Times and all these different
Yep.
left wing, is so different and they'll oftentimes contradict themselves in the story. Because they got to tell some of the truth, obviously, but so
They usually don't have to tell the truth.
I mean, I just saw a thing on the New York Times online that said inflation surges as effects of the Iran war. It shows in prices, and then we all know that inflation hit 9% under Biden, and when Trump left office in his first term, it was 1.2. So the target for the Federal Reserve is 2%. Like if you're around 2%, you're good. So it's been down to like 2 or 2.4, and I think now they're saying it's up to 3.3. But so the Iran war is causing
well, we
some
were
of
in
it,
the middle of a
more of it.
war,
right.
which we're not. Supposedly, we're not now.
So yeah, the prices of oil and it's coming down.
It's going to drive the
but-
gas prices up.
Right. So
I looked before we came here. It's 97.
a barrel.
Yeah, it was 120 last week or
Yeah.
3-4 days ago. So it's coming down, but we're not seeing it at the pump yet. I filled up before I picked you guys up. It was $4.29.
Oh, I owe you $5 for gas.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, inflation.
Yeah. But anyway, it is coming down, but this is way worth it to do what we're doing, what we just did.
It's like an investment.
It is,
because if we're taking out something we're gonna have to deal with and pay for the next 40 years that we've already been paying for.
Yeah, we were paying for it under Biden anyway.
Right,
so
right.
just
we were mailing them or sending them pallets of money.
a few more months. Yeah, we were sending money to
Pallets
do what they
of
did,
money so they can build more nukes.
which I think should be a crime. I know it's hard to get the president.
Well,
of the
it's not like
United States,
Biden and his family have never done a crime.
but, this was Obama that.
Oh well, he's never done a crime
sent the
either.
jet in there. Yeah, everybody thinks he's like as pure as the driven snow.
Right.
Anyway, but inflation is going to come. I told my brother, I said, wait till June.
Why do you even talk
I
to
said,
him?
by June, gas is going to be back down in the low threes.
Yep.
And that's in Illinois. In Missouri, you're looking at high twos.
Yep.
For sure. 250. So, and he's like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, okay, we're going to revisit this in June. And that's a rare time for fuel to go down because it's summer traveling season.
Right.
So it usually goes up.
They jack it up a little bit.
Yeah,
in the summertime.
exactly, because you have to go on vacation, right?
Yeah,
So,
you have to travel.
anyway, is that what all you had on that?
Yeah.
Did you guys see the video of this Haitian refugee beating this girl with a hammer?
I saw it. Yeah,
No.
It is one of the most vicious things.
Yeah, I mean, it was blurred, but I saw it.
Okay, so this is kind of an immigration segment here. This guy, they found him and he's in jail, whatever. But he beat this, and she was an immigrant from Ukraine,
Yeah, but for no
right? Just
reason, just
Did he have mental? Did they blame it on?
Well,
I'm just saying, did they blame it? Usually the media will find a way.
They haven't
to,
had a time yet, but they
Okay.
did. They found mental with the guy that stabbed the girl on the
Yes,
bus.
right,
They
right.
found him
Yes.
mentally
yep,
incapable.
of standing trial.
Yeah.
I saw that. Son of a bitch.
So this guy, this is the whole mental thing. If you can go buy soda or buy beer, or if you can have transactions with people and eat, you are not mentally unable to stand trial for. I mean, that is the bar is way too low.
What makes it where they're mentally incapable to stand trial? What? I mean, what is that?
So that guy was
Are
a
you throwing your feces at people or like a monkey or
Even
or,
then, I mean, if you can go buy a cup of coffee, aren't you? If you can mentally do that,
yeah,
if you can think through that,
then you can stand
process-
trial.
right of
Then you
day to day life.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. So this whole he was mentally. So that guy got.
It's cover. It's cover for.
It is, and yeah, he's got some problems. He did so many drugs, his brain's
He's got
fried.
some problems,
But, and then you got this thing that happened in Virginia where 12 girls over several months were molested by this illegal immigrant.
Boy, this took a turn.
Yeah. So this
know
guy
this one.
apparently for like 2 months, this 19-year-old guy was from another country. I forget which country, but he was putting his hands down girls' pants
Easy.
in school and molesting them. So
What was he doing? How old was he?
he's 19. Well, he's probably dropped
Lower-
a few
oh, yeah.
lower. Yeah, he's probably a junior or something. I don't know. They just put him in school with our kids. They don't even care
Well,
what happens.
we had some guys at Granite that had the class rings that you could turn the dial, 83, 84. So they were a little older.
That was me.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, but this guy got away with it for 2 months, and now they finally arrested him. And this is one of the arguments I've had with some of my relatives. One in particular that you guys know. I say something like, "Well, that person would be alive right now if it wasn't for Biden. That person would be alive right now." And they say, "Well, Americans
Right,
do crimes too. Americans kill people too." I'm like, "You're not grasping what I'm saying."
Right.
That person would still be alive
Yeah.
if they were not here
if they weren't
illegally.
here.
Yeah.
Right.
And for some reason, these lunatics,
They all default to that argument.
they can't process that point that, hey, if that individual wasn't here,
Because-
that person would be alive.
They don't want to. They don't want to hear your point. They don't want to see your side. They just like, well, Americans do crimes. Yeah, but they were already here.
Yeah, and fine.
We're not
Let's deal
bringing-
with the criminals here too. We
Yeah.
can do both.
Right.
you
Well,
know?
at least they're here.
Yeah.
And we, but they're supposed to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have enough. We have enough idiots. We don't need to allow more in, right?
And another thing I was going to say about the Republicans that like Tucker Carlson's that are going off on
What is
Trump,
up with that?
I don't know.
What is the deal?
Candace Owens, these people that we've all three,
Yeah.
we liked them.
Cheerleading
Did.
them.
Yep. And they're just going off on him because they don't like the war. They don't like the thing that's going on in Iran. Well, what's the alternative? You going to vote for a Democrat? You going to vote for Gavin Newsom?
Or what's the alternative of what happens when Iran starts,
Right. That
or
alternative
keeps
also
doing what they're doing?
Exactly. But beyond that, like you can pick Trump or you can pick Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you're taking you're taking voters away because they have millions of followers. They're making people not want to go to the polls and vote Republican
Right.
because they don't like one thing or two things he's done.
Well, it's all about Israel to them. Like they just,
It's insane. These people are off their rockers.
Well,
Tucker
it's
called him.
sad.
Tucker called him the Antichrist.
Yeah.
And Candace, she's been saying like a lot of weird stuff.
She's
She was talking about
this close to finding out who Charlie Kirk's killer is.
well, she's been talking about Charlie Kirk's wife a lot and saying that she's fake and she's evil. And I'm like, okay, where's your proof?
I think she liked Charlie.
I heard stories that she actually, liked him or whatever. Isn't she married to a white dude?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or that too. But I'll tell you what, she's getting close to where I'm not going to be sexually attracted to her.
Easy. All right. On that note, I'm not even going to talk
Wait
about
a minute.
the donated steel from Luxembourg. Then forget it.
No, I want to hear about it. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got one more thing.
Oh, okay.
If-
All right. Yeah, we got time. How we doing on time? Yeah, we're doing good. Yeah, I can see the clock. I shouldn't ask him.
Okay, so have you guys heard this? This
Why are
shit
you
just
bugging
happened.
him?
This shit just happened yesterday or the day before.
Then I probably haven't heard about it then.
Hunter Biden wants to fight Donald Jr. or Eric Trump in a cage match.
Oh my God! I want to see that.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, they'd have to be
I'll get that
tested.
pay-per-view.
Hunter Biden had to be tested for HIV. You can't have Hunter Biden's blood on you.
No.
That's a big risk that one of the Trump kids would be taking.
Now I saw the headlines on this, but somebody said it's because he's broke.
Yeah, like
How is he broke? He got millions of dollars through
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
quid pro quo.
his artwork alone?
I know.
was
I've
worth
got
like-
one of his paintings.
Do you?
Yeah, it's in
Is
my
that the one with the dog?
It's in my bathroom.
Yeah.
It's a vase with
I mean,
flowers.
Is it brown?
You're asking how he's broke. I was like, I just have a little bit of an idea. He's been doing a little bit of the old devil's dandruff.
that's a lot of money.
That's
to
a lot
go
of crack.
through. Yeah,
Dude, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Because
That's what
he
Rick
got high.
James said, right?
Because he got high.
all right.
Didn't Marion Barry say that the Washington mayor who he did crack and then he
Yeah.
got reelected?
Yeah.
But Rick
dude, hang
James
on,
is
if-
the one that said it's
Yeah.
hell of a drug, right?
Yeah, cocaine. He's like, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
You sound just like him. That's a great impersonation.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks. Oh, him. Oh.
But yeah, dude, I mean, I would love to see that pay-per-view. I would pay anything to see that.
Okay, I think I've got everything covered. If you guys want to,
So you don't want to hear about the Luxembourg steel?
Let's
Okay.
hear
All
about
right,
it.
no. All right. So there's people going on Facebook and making fun of Trump and calling him a hypocrite and blah 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 because he got some steel from Luxembourg.
Yep.
He's like, oh, he's talking about he's saving the steel industry, but why didn't he get the steel from? Well, because for one thing, it's donated.
Right.
It's free. And he
Oh, for the
promised for the
ballroom?
ballroom.
Okay.
And which I don't understand why they need that much steel because they're saying it's like $37 million worth of
they're
steel.
building an underground bunker under there. You know that, right?
Oh, is that what's for?
Yeah, they're building
Okay.
an underground bunker, and that's people are saying it's strategic, so they can't tear it down because they know if a Democrat gets in it, they're going to tear that ballroom down. But now it's like a secret underground or bomb-proof underground thing to where the president can go.
Well, he promised from the get-go that the taxpayers wouldn't be paying for this ballroom.
No.
Right.
That either he would do it, he would get private, donations
Yep.
or whatever. So just another thing. I just love the TDS, and I love trolling them. I'm getting really good at trolling.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to calm down, I think. But
I've lost. Well, I haven't lost, but I've unfriended my first relative. Like everybody else, I insult them so much that they unfriend me.
Yeah.
But this one person would not go away. I called him everything I could call him, and he still remained friends with me. So I said, I'm going to have to unfriend this guy.
Dude, I love you no matter what.
Dude, it wasn't you yet. But you don't even have your own Facebook account, Jay. But
Yeah, that's a get off my lawn.
anyway, I got 2 people that are high up on my list. They're getting ready to go. I don't want to insult them. I just want to do it
Just
kind of just like out of nowhere. Just say, hey, I'm not friends with this person anymore, because they're posting stuff and I cannot. I want to comment, but I know what's going to end where it's going to go.
Right. I've gotten a lot better of doing that with people that I know.
Are you still friends with that JB guy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You still putting up with that?
Yeah.
Jeez, man, you're.
Hang on, when are we going to be on his podcast?
Oh, I don't know. He wants to, but we're
begging.
busy right
we're
now.
way too big.
Yeah. Right.
Come on.
All right, we need to get out of here, right?
Yeah, let's make like a baby.
All right,
and
before
head
we
out.
go, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, whatever you can do to help us out. And
We have
don't forget our sponsors.
We have, if you want to throw us a few.
our Cash App.
Yeah, we have some.
What is the name of our cash
What is
app?
our name of our Cash App? 2 Broke Republicans with a $sign, right?
I believe so.
$sign first. $2
$sign.
$2 Broke Republicans.
Cash App if you like what you hear.
Right.
If
It's
you
not
want
a
to see
joke.
more of this content.
It's not a joke. We are broke.
Right.
So,
I
This'll help.
showered in a truck stop before I came here.
yeah, that's true.
We watched
story.
him.
We did?
Wow, I watched his back.
All right.
And we have to pay for these microphones that aren't ours.
Right.
Yeah, we have to pay for Ethan.
This is all rental. It's all rental.
We got to pay for Ethan's burrito that he just ate. We owe him for that.
Hey,
We got to pay for that. All right, so let's get out of here. We got to go.
all right.
See you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.